Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the Huion Kamvas Studio 16, which is a Windows tablet that you can draw on. And this is the direct competitor to the Microsoft Surface Pro tablets. Now this video is not a review because I don't have a review unit. Huion has told me they don't have review units for this. So in this video, I'm just going to tell you the things that I would look out for based on the photos provided by Huion and also the specifications on their product page, and also based on the experience of having reviewed so many Windows tablets and Huion products over the years. The Huion Kamvas Studio 16 is priced at US $1,699, and that may or may not include the shipping depending on where you are buying this from. So if you are in USA, the standard shipping is free. If you are in other countries, the shipping may not be free. If you are in Europe, unfortunately, the European taxes are just crazy. This is 2,299 euros in Europe. And let's take a look and see if there is shipping included. All right, at least standard shipping is included. By the way, if you guys find this video useful and want me to make another video to talk about the Kamvas Studio 24, let me know in the comment section below. And if you happen to have the intention to buy the Kamvas Studio 16, do consider supporting my YouTube channel by making your purchase through the affiliate links that I have for you in the video description below. Now, this is actually not the first pen computer from Huion. The first one, if I remember correctly, was the Kamvas Studio 22. And this is the Studio 16, so this is more portable. The screen size is 15.8 inches. It's an IPS LCD with 10-point capacitive touch support. So if we take a look at this product photo here, you can see two USB-C ports here. These are USB 3.2. So these are not Thunderbolt 4 ports, and because one of the ports will be used for charging the tablet, it means you will be left with only one USB-C port. So it would be good to get a USB-C dock or hub for this so that you can get access to more ports. There are no power charging ports on the side. On the other side here, you can see the 3.5mm audio jack, and you can see some vents here for the fan exhaust. And this tablet is actually quite thick. It's also quite heavy at 1.7 kg. So it's a heavy tablet, but if you compare it to the weight of a 16-inch laptop, the weight is actually comparable. So this is the kickstand that is very similar to the Microsoft Surface Pro. The kickstand will not be able to support your hand's weight while you're drawing, so you will need to put this tablet on a stand to draw on it comfortably. And there is a stand provided. It's the Huion ST200 stand. So this is a tablet. This is powered by battery. This does not need to be connected to a computer because the computer is on the tablet. It's in the tablet. It's Windows 11 OS. And the resolution of this 15.8-inch display is 2.5K, which is 2560 by 1440 pixels. So this is considered high res for a 16-inch display. Pixelation is not going to be noticeable from 1 arm's distance away. And this combination of size and resolution means you will be working with the 1080p workspace with the sharpness of 1440p. A 16-inch or 15.8-inch display is a very comfortable size to work with. This is quite big. This is spacious and gives you a lot of room to work with. And due to the size, you will also get to see the user elements, the user interface of drawing and graphic design apps big. And you will see the UI with sharpness as well. So it says that the PenTech, the technology behind it is the PenTech 3.0. I think the pen performance should be better compared to the Microsoft Slim Pen 2, because with the Slim Pen 2, sometimes it's kind of difficult to get the strokes to taper very smoothly and very sharply. So that's the downside or the limitation of Microsoft Surface Pen and the Microsoft Slim Pen 2. Let's take a look at this photo on the left side. So this tablet has been placed on the stand, which is the Huion ST200 stand. You will definitely need to use a stand with this tablet. This is what I would consider a tabletop tablet. So this is not a tablet you can hold easily with one hand and draw with your other hand. If you see this photo here, this lady is using the tablet on her lap. Just remember that this is 1.7 kg, so your hands will get tired very quickly if you want to use the tablet like that. From what I can see, there is no connector, no keyboard connector at the bottom. So if you want to use a keyboard with this tablet, you will have to use a separate standalone wireless Bluetooth keyboard, such as the one you see here in this case. And Huion does sell a Bluetooth keyboard on their product page. This display, oh, you know what? Let me just zoom into the display specifications on the right side so that you can see. So this is an IPS LCD. There is AG glass. In this case, it means that glass is actually textured. So this is a matte textured glass, and because this is glass, this will not suffer from any scratches, which is nice. The display is laminated, so there will be no gap between the LCD and your pen tip. Contrast ratio is 1200 to 1, which is alright. Brightness is 400 nits. Now, based on my experience of having reviewed so many monitors and tablets over the years, the real life brightness is usually 20% less. So the actual brightness is probably going to be 300 nits and above. So it's not going to be 400 nits, and 300 nits is alright. I use my desktop computer at 150 nits, but for tablets, usually they need brighter display, so 300 nits is still alright. Response time is 14 milliseconds, which is alright. Response times will determine whether or not there is any ghosting or image retention. So 40 milliseconds is alright. Viewing angle is 89 degrees, which means this display has good viewing angles. The colors should not shift much when you look at this display from different angles, but the brightness may change. So depending on the angle you're viewing the display, the brightness may change. Anyway, most of the time we are just looking at the display directly, so we are not going to be affected by the shift in colors or brightness that much. And the display has support for 16.7 million colors. It's an 8-bit display. Now, somewhere on the product page, it actually mentions, oh yeah, it's here. It actually mentions that the display is using QLED technology and there is support for 100% Adobe RGB. This is the advertising text. I'm not sure what's the actual Adobe RGB coverage, because from what I know, 16.7 million colors and 8-bit color depth don't usually give you 100% Adobe RGB. So maybe this QLED technology is able to give you that 100% Adobe RGB, and if it is able to give you 100% Adobe RGB, that is great, because Adobe RGB displays are color accurate and they are usually more expensive compared to 100% sRGB displays. It is possible to use this Huion as a wireless external display. All you have to do is install this Miracast wireless display adapter provided by Windows 11, and this will allow your Huion tablet to be discovered as a wireless external display. And if you are using this with a Mac, you can use Duet Display or Luna Display. The processor that's in the tablet is the 11th gen Intel Core i7-1165G7 processor, which is a 4-core processor at 2.8 GHz. So this is a reasonably powerful processor, although it's not the latest 12th gen Intel processor. This is the processor that's commonly found in tablets and laptops from 2021. And this processor is definitely powerful enough to run drawing software and graphic design software without lagging. Where you may find the system to lag is when you are exporting many photos in Adobe Lightroom. Importing photos should be fine, as in the speed should be fast enough, but it may take some time to generate the thumbnails, and switching between different photos to edit may take that extra split second, but edits on photos will be instantaneous. So the main areas where you may find or experience lag is when you are exporting photos and when the photo editing app is generating thumbnails. But for drawing and graphic design work, I don't expect the tablet to lag at all. So this tablet has 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, SSD storage, mind you. There is no mention on the generation of the NVMe SSD, so we don't really know how fast the file transfer speed is, but it's SSD, so it will be fast. And for drawing purposes, for saving and loading huge files, it's going to be fast. So this is the Huion PW550S pen, and this uses PenTech 3. So this pen has support for tilt and 8192 levels of pressure sensitivity. There is support for felt pen nibs as well. By the way, you may hear some children screaming in the background. That's from the playground downstairs. I'm not sure whether there is any movement with the pen nib though, but with the new pens that Huion has released recently, the pen nibs are supposed to be firm, which is to say that when you are drawing on the drawing surface, the pen nib is not supposed to move in and out. And if you are using the felt nib, there will be no tapping sound on the glass, which is also quite nice. The selling point here for a Huion pen tablet is the line quality. Of course, I don't have the actual product to test. I cannot show you the actual lines, but based on what I have seen with Huion products so far, the line quality should be good. The main thing here is the lines should be able to taper smoothly and sharply. That is the main selling point over the Microsoft Surface Pro tablets. And also in this photo, you can see this wireless keyboard. This is the Huion keyboard. You can see the Huion brand there. Okay, so this is where I will talk about the touch gesture support. Windows OS, in my opinion, does not have good support for touch gestures. At least the support is not as good compared to Android and iPad. More specifically, let me give you a few examples. So I'm a right-handed user. So when I place my hand on the display to draw, my hand will be at the bottom right side corner. And sometimes I may accidentally drag out the panel from the right side of the desktop because there is this Windows panels where you can see the notification, the settings, and you swipe it out from the bottom right. And that happens to me quite often, so it's very irritating. I just wish there is some way to just turn it off, or I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, it affects me, and it affects the experience with using finger gestures and touch while you are drawing. And also for Windows tablets, I like to place my taskbar at the top instead of at the bottom because you can see all these little icons here. Sometimes I may accidentally touch them as well and they may activate. So I prefer to have the taskbar at the top where I can minimize the chances of touching those buttons or activating those buttons accidentally. So that's the main issue I have with Windows and touch gesture support. But when it comes to when you're inside the app itself, when you're inside, for example, Photoshop, Concepts, Clip Studio, MediaBang Paint Pro, the finger gestures should work fine. You will be able to scroll, pan, rotate, zoom with ease, and I do not expect any lag with those animations. So the zooming in and out, that is going to be quite fluid. Let's look at the ports. There are only 2 ports. These are USB-C ports with transfer speeds up to USB 3.2, so that's up to 20 gigabits per second, which translates to 2.5 gigabytes per second. So that's quite fast. That's about as fast as USB 3.2 can go, but in real life, obviously, the transfer speed is going to be slower. There is DisplayPort 1.4 video support, so you can output video from the USB-C ports here. And there is power delivery fast charging with 65 watt charging, which is said to be able to charge this tablet to maximum capacity under 2 hours. So that's alright. The charging speed is alright, except for the battery life, which is not that great. The battery life is just 5 to 6 hours. And that is very typical with Windows tablet. I actually wish the tablet, this tablet had much better battery life because it's 1.7 kg. I mean, where did all the weight go to? Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, if you want access to more ports, you will have to get a USB-C hub or a dock. For the connection, there is Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5, and this is the kickstand. There is no noticeable design that I can see for the hinge, so hopefully the hinge will stay stiff. This is the stand that's included, the Huion ST200 stand, which can deploy the tablet at different angles, but the angle, as you can see, the maximum angle is just 45 degrees. So if you want to prop up the tablet more vertically, you will have to use the kickstand, but it's not going to be 90 degrees. There are 2 side-facing speakers and front-facing camera. I'm not sure if there is Windows Hello Unlock. Probably not, because there is a fingerprint unlock button at the top of the tablet. So these are all the accessories and items included in the box. Oh, they do include replacement nibs, the felt pen nibs. This is nice. Because this is a matte textured drawing surface, I would recommend you buy more replacement nibs just in case the nibs wear out faster than usual. So this is the table that I've created comparing the Kamvas Studio 16 versus the Microsoft Surface Pro 8 from 2021, the Surface Pro 9 from 2022, and the M2 iPad Pro 12.9 inch from 2022. So the Kamvas Studio 16 is US $1,699, and this comes with the pen and the standalone stand. The Surface Pro 8, which came out 2 years ago, is now being discounted to $1,600 on Microsoft's website. But this does not come with the pen, so if you want to buy the pen, it's an extra US $129. And the tablet cannot charge the pen, so you will have to buy a separate charger for that, and that is $35. So the total for the Surface Pro 8 with the pen and charger is $1,763 US. For the Surface Pro 9, it's a new tablet, so this is $1,900. Again, this does not come with the Slim Pen 2, which is another US $129. and you need to buy the charger as well, so the total will add up to $2,663. Now if you buy the Microsoft Signature keyboard case, that case can charge the pen, but that case is $179. So yeah, so every little thing adds up. So the Surface Pro 8 and the SP9, these two are more expensive than the Kamvas Studio. The M2 iPad Pro is surprisingly affordable, relatively speaking. The model with 8 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage is $1,400, and this does not include the Apple Pencil 2, which is $129. So we are looking at a total of $1,528 for the M2 iPad Pro 12.9 inch with the Apple Pencil 2. So what are the main differences between these products, these tablets? So the Kamvas Studio 16 has the largest display. This is a 15.8 inch LCD. The aspect ratio is 16:9. The resolution is 1440p, and it comes with a laminated matte textured glass surface, which is nice. The Surface Pro 8 has a 13-inch display. The aspect ratio is 3:2, which is nice. I like 3:2 and 4:3 aspect ratio for tablets. The display is glossy and very reflective. The resolution is high. The resolution for these 4 tablets are high, and you will not see any pixelation with these 4 tablets. The M2 iPad Pro 12.9 inch has a 4:3 aspect ratio. The resolution is high, and this display from Apple actually comes with an anti-reflective coating which minimizes reflection, which is nice. But compared to a matte textured drawing surface, obviously the matte drawing surface is going to provide you with a more satisfying tactile drawing experience. I'm not sure how much the image quality will be affected by the matte texture though, because I don't have the actual unit to test. So the CPU, well, since these tablets are going to be used for drawing and for graphic design work, the CPU that you see here, the 11 or the 12th gen CPU, are more than powerful enough for drawing purposes. The weight is, the Kamvas Studio 16 is significantly more heavy compared to the Surface Pro 8 and Surface Pro 9 and the M2 iPad Pro. This is 1.7 kg without the keyboard, without the pen. So this is kind of heavy. I've already considered the Surface Pro 8, SP9 and the iPad Pro 12.9 to be heavy tablets, and these tablets, in my opinion, are tabletop tablets. So the 1.7 kg Huion Kamvas Studio 16 is definitely a tabletop tablet. I don't expect you to be able to use this with one hand easily. So that's something you need to know if you're thinking of using this tablet like an actual tablet where you can carry around and draw as if it's a portable tablet. It is a portable tablet, but it's not that portable. Okay, so the amount of RAM in these tablets is 16 gigs of RAM, except for the M2 iPad Pro, and all these tablets have 512 gigs of storage. Now do note that the Surface Pro 8 and 9, they have removable SSD, so you can actually upgrade the storage yourself, but the Kamvas Studio 16 does not have removable storage. For the pen, the Kamvas Studio 16 is using the PW550S, which is included, but for the Surface Pro and the iPad, you have to buy the pens separately. And those pens require battery. Anyway, you will be charging the pens quite often, so battery life is not a concern here. The stand for the Kamvas Studio 16. The Surface Pros are built in. In addition to the built-in stand, the Studio 16 also has the Huion ST200 stand included. The M2 iPad Pro does not have a stand, so if you want to use the iPad Pro for drawing for long periods of time, you won't be holding the iPad in your hand. You will have to put it on a proper stand. You will have to put all these 4 tablets on a proper stand to draw if you want to use the tablets for long periods of time. The OS is Windows 11 for Kamvas Studio 16 and the Microsoft Surface Pro, and it's iPad OS 16 for the M2 iPad Pro. Now, Windows 11 is a desktop OS, so it's going to be more versatile. It has all the desktop apps, and there is proper, I shouldn't say proper backup management, because you can back up the whole iPad with Apple iCloud. You can back up the Windows devices with Microsoft OneDrive. There is proper file management with the Windows devices. There is proper external display support. There is also external display support with the M2 iPad Pro, but it's not the usual external display support, the type that you get when you plug in an external display to your computer with a video cable. But let me just sum this all up. If you're looking to buy a tablet just for drawing purposes, like 95% of the time you're just drawing, go with the iPad Pro because it's cheaper and it's very powerful. But if you need to do more with your computer, if you need to actually do like graphic design, if you need the file management, if you need desktop software, go with the Windows devices because iPad OS is kind of limiting. There are certain things that you just can't do as effectively or as fast compared to Windows OS. You can certainly do graphic design work with the iPad Pro, but you are going to be so much faster with proper keyboard and mouse support. And the mouse on the iPad Pro is a little circle, so that doesn't work for me. So let's take a look at the total price if you add everything up. So the Kamvas Studio already comes with all those accessories, so it's $1,700 versus $1,763 for the SP8 and $2,000 over for the SP9. So the SP9, in my opinion, is overpriced, so you will have to wait for the price to drop. And the M2 iPad Pro is surprisingly affordable, relatively speaking. And if you want to buy a stand, the stand that I would recommend is the Pablo PR100, which I've listed here, and this is US $39. So this is quite a good stand if you need to actually buy a separate standalone stand. The last thing I want to mention is, and this is very important, is this video is not a review. So because I don't have the actual product to test, I cannot show you the line quality, so I can't show you whether or not there is any slow diagonal line wobble or jitter or how the lines actually taper. All the drawing performance that I have mentioned is based on my experience with Huion pen displays, not with their pen computers. So to find out how these products actually perform, you will have to wait for like actual reviews. Because you are buying this for drawing purposes, so it needs to have good drawing performance, and because this is so pricey, it needs to have fantastic drawing performance. So is the Huion Kamvas Studio 16 worth the money, and should you get it? Well, it really depends on your use case. If you already have a computer and you don't need a portable computer, it actually makes more sense to buy the Kamvas Pro 16 2.5K, which is just $600. So this is $1,100 cheaper compared to the Studio 16. But if you need or want a portable computer, then this can be an option. I think this is a better option compared to the Microsoft Surface Pro because this is a 15.8 8-inch display, which is much larger and is going to be more satisfying to draw on, and it comes with a matte textured drawing surface, which is nice for artists. But if you don't actually need this extra computer, just get the Kamvas Pro 16 2.5K to save the money. And if you happen to be upgrading your computer, I would probably recommend you get a computer. It can be the Mac Mini, the new one with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, and this is $999, and pair it with this Kamvas Pro 16 2.5K and it will still be cheaper compared to the Kamvas Studio 16. So there are many options to consider, but all I can say right now is this is definitely, in my opinion, provide more value compared to the Microsoft Surface Pro, because personally for me, I find the Surface Pro display to be on the smaller side. Even though it's 13-inch, it's kind of big, but it's not as big as I want it to be. Another issue with the Microsoft Surface Pro is they are still suffering from the display flickering issue. I have the Surface Pro 6 and the Surface Pro 8, and both tablets have the display flickering issue, but thankfully I got them exchanged under warranty. But 2 out of 2 tablets, Microsoft tablets with problems, is not a good record. So hopefully the Huion Kamvas Studio 16 has good durability or good build quality and can last long without any issues. If you are considering the iPad Pro, that is actually a pretty good option as well, as long as you already have a computer, because iPad OS, in my opinion, still has quite a number of limitations. But the iPad Pro 12.9 inch is a fantastic tablet with 9 to 10 hours of battery life and excellent performance, and has really good drawing performance as well. Alright, before you go, I just want to mention this again. If you have the intention to get this product, consider supporting my YouTube channel by making your purchase through the affiliate links that I have for you in the video description below. I get to earn some commission, but at no extra cost to you. Your support is the reason why there are no Space Square, Share Skill, or VPN sponsored ads on my YouTube videos. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye.